Wow. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy. Yes, sir. I'm back. I'm back. We rolling live now with Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I am he, your host. We got another good one for you. Listen, guys, over the last few weeks, months, years, we've been having a lot of discussions about so many different things. But today I got something for you that's going to surprise you. It's going to shock you. I got one of my good friends, my frat brothers, my boys, my dogs with me today. We're going to walk on this one. Listen, guys, I know you guys love and have a lot of fun with me, but do me a favor, if you would, wherever you are, if you can, stop, take notes, listen to what we're going to articulate today because it's going to help you moving forward. It's going to help you all around. It's not going to just be one space, but it's going to be all around. I know y'all want to know what I'm talking about, but y'all know we got to do the commercials first. Listen, wherever you are, go to Facebook, any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. What else I'm on? Of course, and YouTube. How could I forget YouTube? Follow me on YouTube. You get a chance to see all of my ridiculous faces, all of the crazy question marks that I have running through my head, all of those things that's going on. So go to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. When you go to YouTube, put in the apostrophe S, Let apostrophe S. Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Go to YouTube, follow us there, subscribe, like, share, call your cousin, your boy, your uncle, and your mama, and let them all know, like, hey, come and join us, follow us, and do what we have to do because we have some great content. Also, go to Let's Talk with StanleyDoucette.com. That's where all of the old podcasts are held and housed, and it's amazing. Listen, we have everything on there from a dancer to talking about prayer. So we got everything in between. If you want to get on the podcast or you want to get at me and want to be a guest or you got something powerful that you want to share, listen, get at me, hit me up. Make sure you go to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. We can make some things happen. We can go to work and just do what we do. So let's go to work. So now that the commercials are over, let's go to work. Let's do what we do, man. Let's do what we do. Listen, I have one of my good fraternity brothers with me today. He is in admission. So wait, let me go back and let me share with you guys what we're going to be talking about. We're talking about college, right? So there's this big debate on college now. Is it even relevant? But we're going to talk about the good or the bad for Generation Z because there's this big debate. Should I go to college? Should I not go to college? Some major companies are not requiring degrees anymore. So it's a whole bunch of things that's going on. So of course, when we were at our convention, I was talking to my man, and he was like, "Man, let's do it. Let's get it. Let's make it happen." All right, here we are. Let's make it happen. So I have my frat brother with me. He's originally from New York. As a matter of fact, this is an interesting fact. In New York, he has his family has a barbershop that's been there for over 50 years. So he's already been in the community making some things happen. He's down in the A now with your boy. He's at Clayton State. He's in admissions. So he's seen it front hand what's going on in the education system. So I told him he can't hold back. Don't come on, let's talk and try to give you these political answers. Nah, we ain't doing that. So y'all do me a favor, welcome for the first time, but definitely not the last time, my boy, my brother, Oscar Hopkins. Oh, what's up, man?
What's up, Brother Stanley? I appreciate you, my brother.
You good? Don't look
Yeah,
nervous now. You know we gonna get at you now. Don't look
I'm
nervous.
good. I'm good. You know what? It's an honor to be here. I'm glad that you spoke about it to me at the convention because I had seen your post with the podcast, and I was like, you know what? If I was going to do a podcast, it's going to be with Brother Stanley. So here
Yes,
we are.
sir.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
man. Yeah, man. I'm excited to be doing this podcast with you. So, first, before we get into anything, man, let the audience know who are you. Like I know who you are, but let them know who are you.
Who am I? Well, my name is Oscar Hawkins. I happen to be a third, named after my father, my grandfather, and born 1985, originally from Queens, New York, around the southeast Jamaica area, Canberra Heights to be more specific. Who am I? Kind of went to school, junior high school, and high school was in like the gifted program, but I wasn't really academic. I wasn't like a scholarly kid.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I was more into like networking and hanging out, making friends. I wasn't into any trouble, but my focus wasn't on education at the time.
And look
So
at you in education now. Ain't that?
it's very ironic. Honestly, my siblings made the A's and the B's. I was more like a D or C student. So, but here we are.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
but I'm here now. I moved here in 2010. I came down here with uh, two clippers and a pair of disinfectant spray. And I started cutting hair over on Tower Boulevard in Jonesboro in 2010. And
Yeah.
I enrolled at Clayton State in 2011.
Okay. So you still at Clayton State, but you graduated and now you went into admissions.
Correct. Yep.
Is there anything specific when you talk about admissions that caught your attention and why you wanted to do admissions and not other parts of the university?
You know, I originally started in university advancement. So I was actually the assistant director of alumni engagement and annual giving.
Okay.
But we're gonna keep it real. This is a real talk
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Clayton, Clayton State has some issues where they had to have a reduction in force,
Oh, okay.
and amidst that reduction in force, I was moved over to admissions because they needed people in that department. So it found me. I didn't really find admissions. It found me, but originally I was into development, fundraising, alumni engagement.
Okay. All right. So how do you see the switch? Is that going okay for you? Before we get into these questions with the for the fam, is it going okay, or is it just one of them things like, I had to move over, so I made it work?
No, one of the interesting things about higher ed is when you are trying to advance your professional career, you kind of have to see all sides of the university. So for me, I worked with alumni and donors, and that was kind of like an external part of the university.
Yeah.
With admissions, it's more internal. So you get to see it from the front line. You get to meet students before they even come to the school, let alone graduate.
Right.
Um, and so it's a different perspective, but I like it. I like seeing it from this view.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Now, let's get into this education thing, right? Um, man, what the hell going on with education? I mean, what's going on for real? See, I got this debate that I want to have, not so much with you, but should we send our children to school? Said, okay, graduate and go to school. I know, back in the day, we fought hard to get in and be admitted and equality, and I get all of that. But should we actually do it? Are they actually teaching anything anymore, developing, or are they just teaching a curriculum or what's in the book?
Oh man. Okay, let me see which
Yeah,
one.
we gonna get into it, baby.
Let me see which one I got to answer first. Well, I'll tell you what's up with higher education in general is right now, colleges and universities are seeing a slight decrease in enrollment. That kind of happened somewhere after COVID. Interestingly enough, when COVID hit, we saw a steady increase in enrollment amongst colleges and universities because a lot of folks didn't have anything else to do but go to school, and a lot of schools offer classes online.
Yeah.
So a lot of people decided to stay home and get the degree. But as we started moving more into the, being out and about and we outside, that whole thing, people kind of, the enrollment numbers went down. So we're seeing a decrease. So it went up and then it came down really quickly. Also, we are seeing an increase in people making money off of TikTok and YouTube, social media. So we're living in like an entrepreneurial generation where high school students don't feel like they have to go to college. They want to graduate from high school and open their business. They want to be an entrepreneur. So college to them is plan B. I think when I was in school, I'm sure when you were in college, it was plan A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's like an alternative almost to kids now.
Yeah, when you start talking about like even in sports, they talking about the NIL deals, right? And I mean, if they, athletes making $50,000, $100,000 a month or whatever it may be, it's like, man, what, school, what, can I take physical ed every day and I'm good, get my degree, but I'm making money, so I'm good. So I understand that. Let's jump into this. So why is it worth somebody in Generation Z to actually, come to what is Clayton State or any other university that's out there? Why should we have them go to those universities?
Well, for me, higher education is more than just you sitting in a classroom and learning about Shakespeare and Sigmund Freud and biology that you don't want to be a doctor, so why do you need to know all these other things? But
Yeah.
it's more about learning an environment where you can network with people who have a common interest. Um,
Hmm.
you're in classrooms with people, you join student organizations, um, and really higher education is a test to me. If you can finish your journey in 4 years or more, then you prove that you have some sort of dedication
Okay.
and tenacity and grit. Because anybody you speak to, I haven't heard anybody say college was easy.
Right. It sure
So
wasn't.
it's an uphill battle, and right when you get to that finishing, goal, or that's when it gets hard. But if you can still push through
Mhm.
towards the end of the race, then you said something about your character.
Okay. I mean, that's good because I think about my view personally. This is a personal view. Is go to school, but it's not so much for X's and O's. Like you said, it's not so much for biology or chemistry or chem lab or bio lab or any of that stuff. It's not for that. It's not to go get and see if you can read more literature. But I think it's like, to your point, I agree with you. I think it's more about networking and understanding how to deal with other personalities and other people coming from different parts of the world coming to your institution, right? And then how you be able, quite frankly, if I'm honest, uh, I actually learned how to speak, not from English class or not from speech, but from my friends on the yard. That's literally how I had a bad way of saying the STs. So if I'm saying street, it would be like street. You know what I mean? Straight. So I had that. And how I learned was my friends from Chicago or LA or Boston or Florida. They'd be like, what? Oh, what are you talking about? Right. So I went to speech class right there on the yard, but I didn't have to pay anybody to do it. You know what I mean? So I think that's where it's at. But then also there are some disadvantages. So just by you being there and understanding the front line, what's the disadvantages of actually going to school for our Gen Zs or whoever else it may be?
Um, I wouldn't say there are any disadvantages. I would say there's certain struggles or challenges that you'll face in your journey. One of them is just really staying focused.
Yeah.
And you have so many distractions around you. You have a lot of friends. You have parties, social. The social life could be very exuberant when you're on campus, especially if you live on campus.
Right.
So I'd say there are a lot of challenges. The disadvantage, if there is one, is for me wasting your time. So going into college thinking that you can do it, even though you know that's not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, because I advocate for college, but I'm also a fan of people who find their own way without a higher education degree. But we here to talk about college, so let me
Right,
get back to it.
right, right. You can
Um,
go wherever you want to go on this show. Hey, listen, hey,
no,
hey.
here's the deal. Honestly, Brother Stanley, when I was in Queens, I graduated from Jamaica High School. When I
Uh-huh.
was in Jamaica High School, it was the number one most dangerous high school in the city of New York. For all
Okay.
4 years I was there. So there weren't a lot of people around me that were thinking about college. We didn't have college tours. We didn't have people who, college studies, filling out applications. So when I graduated, I went to Medgar Evers College, which is in Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
My main goal was get a degree because I'm traveling back and forth. I wasn't living on campus. It was just
Mhm.
sit in these classes, get a good grade, get a degree. But when I came to Clayton State, it was more of the networking. And I knew I was focused. I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't feel like I wasted time there. I think the disadvantage is making sure that you don't waste your time trying to fit into a college environment, but you want to do something else.
No, that makes sense. You know what? You bring up something that I think is powerful. Like you said, when you went to your school at Jamaica, and you were talking about it being a dangerous school, most dangerous school in New York at the time, going through all that. What was your mindset in that, and how did you push through? Because there are people that's listening, trying to help their child who may be having a hard time in high school or in college or wherever it may be, they may not seem like they fit, or they may be going through a rough patch. So how did you push through, man? Talk to the kids, man. Talk to the folks.
The kids, honestly, for me, I was a little bit privy in that I knew how to cut hair. And I went to my grandfather's barbershop every day after school. So when I left high school, I wasn't hanging out like that. I went to work. So I worked.
Right.
And college wasn't on my agenda at all. I went just because I thought it was whatever needed to be done. Um, so for me, I had something to take my mind off of what happened after school. And then I came from a family of people who were into higher education. So I had some sort of an experience or some sort of an exposure to it.
Right.
So I just chose the right crowds to be around, people who can tell you more than you know. Working in a barbershop, I learned how to talk to people and network with people. And a lot of people told me, "You sure you don't want to finish college?" And I said, "No," because I had dropped out of Medgar by then. I did a year, and I was like, "Nope, I'm done."
Okay.
So I had a lot of people around me who said, "You need to go back to school. I don't know how you're going to do it. And you cut hair really well." And I thought I was going to cut hair for the rest of my life. But I had people say to me, "No, you can do more." So just having the right people around you to encourage you to do the right things.
Oh no, that's good. That's good because for me, when I went to Southern, right, I'm going to HBCU, and it was a different experience because in high school, it was majority white, like 99% white. When I went to Southern, obviously, it was the opposite end, right? So you got both the best worlds, if you will. One of the things that I believe wholeheartedly was the reason I finished Southern is because of the mentorship that was there, right? There are teachers that will make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do, even if you're not. Well, I say at the time, I don't know what's going on in today's society, but when we were there were teachers. I remember this teacher, I'm not going to call her name. It was my English teacher. And I didn't come to class one day. Like, I just like, you know what? I just came from the party. I'm still a little tipsy. I'm good. I'm not going to class. And she called my phone and said, "You didn't come to class, so you need to come to my office today. And you gonna go to class today." And I was like, "What do you mean? I didn't come to class because I didn't." Yeah. She was like, "Mr. Doucette, I will see you today." Right. And, we had those teachers, right, to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. Right.
That's interesting you say that, because I had a similar experience where I got pulled out of the hallway by a professor. No, actually, I was in class. We had a paper due that day or the day before. She said, "Oscar, can I talk to you outside for a second?" I said, "Is there another Oscar in here? Because you certainly ain't talking to me."
Right.
But she pulled me outside and said, "I noticed you didn't turn in your paper." But when they see something in you, they want to pull it out of you. So mentorship is very important. Mentors could come in the form of professors, staff members, whatever. So similar situation. Yeah, I think when you have that vested interest, then that means the world. So again, when I was in New York and I tried the college thing, I was a commuter and I wasn't fully engaged. So I didn't even welcome the mentorship.
Right. Let me ask you this. What are some crazy things that you've seen just in your higher education? Like, let's say, we in Georgia, so the board of whatever, I don't know, the board of regents say, we're going to do this, but we didn't do that, or something, or they changed their course in the middle. So yeah, I see like your whole face lit up like, oh, let me tell you this, like, I'm scared.
I am scared.
Well,
I'm
don't
scared.
say it then.
So no, I'm gonna say it because this is real talk, and this is why I'm here. I would say the craziest thing I saw, Brother Duche, was back in 2020. Oh man, the university system of Georgia put together a committee of staff members who worked in different colleges and universities within the university system.
Okay.
And they said, "We want you guys to submit the names of buildings and colleges that are named after white supremacists."
Okay.
This was during George Floyd. This was during social justice, this whole thing. And they were knocking over statues. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Robert E.
I
Lee,
do.
this and the third.
Yeah.
So they put together committee. The committee said, okay, we have a list of names. Here are the names of the colleges and the buildings within those colleges. And the USG said, thank you. And the committee said, so what now? The committee said, nothing. We're going to keep the names. We're going to stick with them.
Wow. Wow. That's deep.
So that's the craziest thing I've seen. Yeah.
What, man, you know, I know we may be off a little bit, but let me ask you this. What is this you think about the governor in Florida and what he's doing and trying to cut this and move that and don't talk about history and, you know, all of those other things? What do you think about that?
You know, I got mixed feelings about that. I really got mixed feelings. While a lot of people may say, you know, kids need to learn about their history, they need to be reminded. And I'm not sure this is where he's going with it, but my personal opinion is we don't need to label kids as, you know, like you're stamped. You have the black stamp on you. You're you know, we have this, our fraternity, we support people who are in lower socioeconomical statuses. So I don't like to make people feel like they're not a part of a regular society, that they're other so early. However, I think he's the wrong person to make that call.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's doing it for political reasons on my end. Here's, you know, my thought on it. I think you have a great point. My thought on it is understand your history, but don't stay in your history. You know what I mean? Understand that, and I say this, we have overcame. It's okay to sit in the front of the bus, right? It's you don't have to get on the bus. As soon as you get on the bus, you go straight to the back. It's okay to sit in the front seat. You know what I mean? It's okay to go in, my mentor would always say this, take the covers off your couch, off your sofa, right? You can eat the big piece of chicken and all those things and not keep yourself focused on the past, but keep moving forward, because we have done some great work. But understand the real history. Now, if you decide you want to teach as a college professor, that's one thing, but understanding that we are here to continue to build each other and empower each other higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, you don't want to stay downtrodden, right?
That's right.
A lot of people subscribe to the downtrodden. I'm just, you know, whatever. And it's dangerous. You don't want to subscribe to that. So like you said, if you know that you can overcome, that's the main part of the lesson. So if you teach the lesson, the whole, you know, both parts, or you don't teach it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think now with him, and, you know, I'm gonna refrain from saying any, you know, certain things, but I would just say, I know he's doing it as a political, so he's trying to get one up on this one or that one. But I think it's a dangerous alley that he's going down, because now I'm gonna say this. This is not education, but I'm gonna say this. And, you know, I'm gonna say it. How in the hell can a group of majority of older white men make a decision about education or about female body parts or what they should or shouldn't do as a female, and then turn around and make you feel like you did something wrong, and then lie, let me say this clearly, lie on the Bible so you can fit it into how you want it to fit, and then try to make you feel bad because this is what you're doing. And the first thing I always ask them, when the last time you had a child? Oh, you don't know what it's about? Oh, okay, well, can we ask the expert, please? Because you saying what you think, and that's not fair. Go ahead, I'm sorry, brother.
Well, no, I was going to say, you know, that speaks to the foundation of the country. You know, using religion as a form of, using it as a weapon, really.
Yeah.
Lying to people and trying to hide not just education, but their education, their history. It's a mentality, and unfortunately, the governor of Florida is not the only person who thinks like this. He's just the face of many. So he's the wrong one. I don't know what his intention is with that, but he shouldn't be dictating that.
So think about this, right? In generation or Gen Z, they're coming to school and they're hearing all this stuff, because now, like you said, they got the TikToks, they got the Twitters and the Facebooks and the IGs and all of these other social media platforms, and now they're making, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on the low end, and some of them making even higher than that, right? Just themselves. So now they're like, why do I need to go to school? What is it that I need to go to school for? Because they're going to teach me how to go work for somebody else to build their dream. So what do we say to those individuals about the importance of that or the non-importance of that? Because I got one I'm gonna talk about the financial piece. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Financial is important too. I would say to them immediately is that's good for now.
Mm-hmm.
All the TikToking and the YouTubing is good for now. And honestly, if you want to rock out now and make the most of it, cool. But always keep your higher education as an option.
Okay.
Timing is everything. Now may not be everybody's time to go to college, but as long as you know that it's a goal, even if you go part time, so on and so forth. But the TikTok stuff, 20 years from now, who knows where we'll be in terms of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to rely on that. You want to establish some sort of a foundation that's based on professionalism, based on discipline, grit, consistency, and that is what college is about. Obviously, the networks too, because even if you are on social media, who's following you? You want to build your network. You want to build your audience, and really, college is the best place to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to ask this question. Is it important on what school you go to? If you pick it, and I hear so much about quote unquote the Ivy League, right, in America.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's like, oh, you go here, is this. Is the education much different? Or is it just they have a stronger network, better marketing? What is that?
So you know what I do on my pastime? It's a weird obsession, but I like to go on YouTube and look at college tours. So they'll have it's called 70 questions, and they'll interview a student, and they go around the campus, and the interview will say, what do you like about the school, so on and so forth. I would say it's important what school you go to because a lot of people are depressed, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Some of our most prestigious schools have the highest suicide rates because students get there and they are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Some students work better in a smaller classroom. Some work better in a bigger classroom. Some don't matter. But if you try to keep up with whoever else you're trying to keep up with, and they went to all the big name schools and the HBCUs, and it doesn't fit your personality, it's
Right.
going to be counterproductive. It's going to hurt you more than it helps.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's a lot of times people will say that, and it's kind of like, I went to this school, and they're walking around with it, but they're still still in the unemployment line, right? They still haven't developed certain things. So, that's good. How real talk? How did you really get into this into education, or was it just kind of like you fell on into it and that was that?
I fell into it. We found each other. Me and higher education found each other. When I started at Clayton State, in my mind, I thought you go to class, you get, you come back, you do your homework, you do this for 4 years, graduate, got a degree, get a job. Cool. But when I started there, I started cutting hair just because, I'm trying to make some money too. So I'm
Right.
the campus, they call me campus cuts. From that, I had staff members coming to get their haircut, students, so on and so forth. And I got so engulfed in like the culture of higher education. I was like, I'm going to do this all day. So I worked in campus life when I graduated at Clayton State. I actually taught at the Interactive College Technology. I was an instructor of English as a second language.
Okay.
So that was a lot of adults from abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I compared that to traditional higher education. I just thought this is very important. This keeps me engaged. It keeps me excited. Something new all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I went on to teach high school, and something about high school students, actually it was middle school, we didn't vibe. Me and the sixth graders didn't vibe. So I came back to Clayton State just because I wanted to be back home. But when I wound up in advancement and fundraising and development, it was natural. It came naturally to me. I mean, I'm from New York. We hustle, especially if you're from Queens. You know, you get the money. So fundraising for me was a second nature, and I was like, wow, I'm really good at it. Everybody said you're really good at this, so I kind of stuck with that, and that kept me around.
That's good, man. That's good. Listen, before we get out of here, there's a couple things that we got to do. One, how good are you to say wine? How good are you with that? You ready? You gotta address the crowd. You gonna follow me?
Yeah.
I don't get nervous. It's all right. Come on.
I think I'm ready. I think so. I think so. I think so.
All right. So I'm gonna do it first, and then you do it behind me. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Now you represent my people. Listen. Don't shout out to Candace Araparu, Dr. Candace Araparu. I'm coming for you. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Wow.
Wow. Oh man. Brother Stanley, you are off the chain.
Listen.
No, but look, I enjoyed this conversation, man. I'm glad we talked. You know, if it weren't for higher education, brother, I wouldn't even know you because you know this frat thing, the alpha phi alpha thing, that's important. We do education. It's what we do. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to meet you, meet so many other brothers in the fraternity that like put me where I am. So to me, this is an honor. I really appreciate you taking the time to get to know a little bit about me.
Man, I appreciate you. Listen, before we roll out of here, what is something powerful you want to tell the audience? It doesn't matter what. What are some of the powerful things you want to tell the audience? You want to share with them? What is something you want to get at them with? What nuggets you want to leave with them?
A nugget. All right. So my nugget for parents, for any parents listening, is talk to your children from day one about education. That be a priority. Even if you didn't finish school, junior high school, college, even if you didn't, speak to your kids about the importance of pursuing education. That could be continuing education, that could be traditional university, whatever. To students, I would say build your network now, build your foundation. It may not seem like it's important because you're just making friends in college, but a lot of and professors and staff members, a lot of these people are going to be the ones to recommend you for jobs, sponsor you for different things, write your letters of recommendation, like I said, references, put your best foot forward, be well dressed, be well spoken, be clean, wash your face,
Right.
get between in the morning before you go to class, wipe the coal out your eye, be presentable, and be your best self all the time. Yeah. That's it.
No, that's good, man. So, I definitely appreciate you, thank you so much for your time and coming on and sharing your expertise with the family. We do it, we listen, we got some crazy stuff. I know you say you're gonna look at some more of the older podcast, if you will. Listen, brace yourself, as they say, brace yourself. So, family, listen, we're gonna slide on out of here. But do me a favor, go to all of the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. You'll see our crazy faces and the things that we do. But I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming through. To all of my international family from Belgium to South Africa to Thailand to Canada and right here in America, I surely appreciate you guys. We in 170 plus countries now, and we keep it rocking and rolling, baby. So listen, shout out to my folks in New Orleans. I'm coming to get some crawfish real soon. We gonna get in there. So listen, I appreciate you, brother.
Bring me some.
You want some too? Yeah. All right, we gonna make it do what it do. So listen, I appreciate you, to all of my family out here. I appreciate you guys and y'all support, and y'all love. Thank you. Don't forget to share, follow, like, subscribe. Forward it to somebody. Make sure that they understand that we are here to help ordinary people become extraordinary. So we love you guys. We'll see you guys on the beaches of the world. God bless, and we out.